Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, so in today's video, as you can see, I'm getting ready to refurbish this piece of furniture. I have been doing this for a while now, probably for the past year, but you know, with everything going on, I wasn't able to keep doing it because people aren't really looking to spend money on furniture items probably. So I slowed down doing it for a while, but anytime I want to make extra cash, or you know, if I have to buy something, then I'll get a piece of furniture on Facebook Marketplace and I make sure that it's good enough for me to refurbish, not too torn down. But as long as the drawers are, they work, they slide pretty smoothly, then I'm okay with that. Then I'll just refurbish it as long as the drawers are good. But yeah, so this piece is a piece that I had for a while. So I've been waiting to do it. So now I'm finally tackling it. So as you can see, I'll be cleaning it, prepping it for paint, and then painting it, and then I'll be selling it on Facebook Marketplace. And just a tip, make sure that you're wearing an outfit that you don't mind getting dirty, because you most likely will get paint on it and it's very hard to remove. Sometimes it does if it's a little bit, but if it's a lot, it'll be hard to remove. So I'm just wearing just a t-shirt and like sweatpants, and that's it. Okay, so these are the things that I use to clean the furniture. So I'll use sanitizing wipes just to get like anything off, little things, and then I get some napkins or paper towels, and I use this Goo Gone spray gel. It's basically like what it says. It's for adhesive and glue and crayon and tape and stuff. So like there's like little things all on here. It should take all those little things off, or as much as I can. So that's what I do for the cleaning process. And I also have this little scraper that I use to scrape the top if anything's hard to get off. So let me go grab that real quick. So this is the little tool thing that I use to scrape anything off. It has like glue on it though, because I was scraping something with super glue and it got stuck on there, but it doesn't matter. So you just kind of like scrape any little things off like that came off like easy, and then you just wipe it away with like a sanitizing wipe. So this does come in handy, especially when you're you have something with paint on it. So this doesn't have paint on it, it's just wood. And if you have paint and you want to change the paint color on your furniture item, then you just scrape it with this scraper, and you don't do it really sharp or deep because then it'll puncture the wood. But if you just do it lightly, then all the paint will come off and it'll be easy to repaint. So this is the part where I take the Goo Gone and then I make sure to spray any, let me open it. Oops. Make sure to spray any places that may have little goo things on it, because you kind of want to spray it in one spot where it's mostly at, because you don't want to just do like a rough spray, because then it won't really sit in there. So anything I see, I'll make sure to spray it. I think I covered everything, pretty sure about that. Okay, so I just sprayed it down with the Goo Gone, and I'm just gonna let that sit maybe for about 5 to 10 minutes, just so it can really sink in there. And then I'll go in with the scraper tool and scrape away. So how I usually start is I'll just grab a few paper towels and kind of make it a little thicker, and then I will grab the scraper, put it on top, and kind of scrape, kind of removed it, mostly, and that's what we really want, is to remove it. Mostly remove it. But this looks like a burn mark, so I think I'll have to scrape that. But I'll be painting it, so hopefully it doesn't show through the paint. See, I wiped some away. So if I can't get it off with the napkin, then I'll lightly scrape at it, and then it'll come right off. So I'm gonna do this for a while and see what I can get off, and then I'll come back and show y'all how clean it is. Okay, so now it's all clean. I scrubbed any little thing off, and it's pretty much nothing on there. There's no little goo or anything, so that stuff really works. The only thing is, of course, this burn mark here. I tried to lighten it a little bit, but I didn't want to scrub too deep or else it'll puncture the wood. So we'll just have to paint over it and see how it turns out. But looking pretty clean so far. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get the screwdriver and remove all of the knobs and handles from the drawers, and then I'll take the drawers out, I'll clean those, and then we'll get started on picking a paint color. Okay, so I took all the drawers out and I took all the handles off. So the reason why I take all the handles off is, one, so that way I can clean it and it's easier to paint, so you don't get paint on any of the handles if the handles are good. But if the handles are not good, which all these handles, you know, some were missing and they kind of look, I mean, I could clean it up, but the thing is, some are missing, so it's gonna be hard to find exactly this handle. So what I'm probably gonna do is go to Lowe's and buy some new handles, and that'll make your dresser look even more better and modern, but still kind of vintage in a way. So that's a thing that you can do if you're missing handles, or if they kind of just look old and run down. So next, I'm going to clean the tops of these. So as you can see right here, the little circle scraper, and scrape it. It's gone, but you still can see little circles around there, but my new handles will probably cover that as well. So now what I'm gonna do is clean the outside of the dresser, and then in between, like right there, like in between. So I'll clean that, make sure everything's clean on the dresser, make sure the drawers are clean. Then I'll grab a little hand vacuum and vacuum the inside, make sure there's no little pieces of paper or anything, and then that's the first step, is cleaning, and then we'll get to painting. Whew, that hurt my legs. Okay. So it's a good thing to have a designated bucket where you keep all of your old handles or screws, because you never know when you'll need extra screws. But I'm gonna take all of these and throw them in the bucket. Okay, so I can't find any nails, but I have screws, so I'm going to try to fix the back of this. Oh shit. I'm gonna try to fix the back of this, so you can see like some parts are sticking up right there and some parts are sticking up right there. So I'm gonna try to screw that in and we'll see how it works. Okay, so I just put 2 screws up here and then 1 screw over here. So it's not really sticking out anymore, just a little bit on the top, but it's not gonna be easy to put a screw there because the board back here is so thin. So if I had nails, then it'll probably work. So now what I'm gonna do is open the paint, and I have already a little like mixer stick. So this is what I use, of course, to mix the paint, especially because this paint has been sitting here for a little while. Okay. But this is what this little tarp thing is for. Like, I put it on the ground so that way if paint gets on the floor, then it's okay because it's on the tarp. This one is a reusable tray. It's plastic. I got this from the dollar store. I like using the reusable trays because the ones that you can buy for like, well, this was $1, but the ones you could buy for like 80 cents at Walmart and stuff, those you have to throw away after using them because you really can't clean them. But these, you can kind of clean them, and I still have some like paint left on here, but it's okay because it's dry. So then I just pour a little bit there, and that should be enough. If I need more, which I might need more, then I will just re-pour. But let me put the top back on. So once we get our paint in there, then we just start painting. Oh, and I did want to mention the brushes that I use. So these ones I got at Walmart. I think they were maybe around $9 or $6 for this pack. These are reused, and as you can see, has like old paint on there, but as long as the tips are pretty much clean, then it's okay. So I try not to get really rough brushes. These are fairly soft, but not too soft, maybe like in the middle. So make sure you have in between soft and rough brushes, or else if you get a rough brush, then it'll just kind of scrape the paint away and it won't paint smoothly. So this is the paint Sherwin-Williams Showcase, and this one covers really well and it dries fairly quickly, so that's good. When you're painting big items, you kind of want it to dry faster. But yeah, so if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot or something to get paint, it's usually this red Sherwin-Williams one is the good one. I wanted to show you the area that was burnt right here. You can kind of see the texture and the light. So I'm gonna try to coat that as much as I can. So I just kind of get a blob of paint and kind of coat that. So you can't really see it anymore. So now that I've coated it, I just make sure to go through smoothly so that way it's not too thick of paint. And the strokes like this that I do, after I do the back and forth strokes to cover it, then I go through with straight strokes like this because it smooths out the paint a lot more. Okay, so I went ahead and covered the top, and then I just did the edges here, and then on the other side. And with this paint, you can do just one coat, and I usually just like to do one good coat because if you let it dry and then you try to paint over it, sometimes it might pull up little pieces of paint. So I like to just do one good coat, and then the paint that I do use is the Sherwin-Williams paint. So you want to make sure you have a really good paint. It's not too expensive actually, but you want to make sure to choose a really good paint, which is the Sherwin-Williams one is, and so that you only have to do one coat. And right here on the insides, I like to go inside a little bit and paint over it, just because if you push the drawers all the way in, sometimes this part shows a little bit and you don't want it to be brown when everything else is gray. So yeah, just a little tip. and let me show y'all what I'm doing. So whenever I'm painting the dressers, I make sure to get into those creases because you don't want those to be brown. So you get in those creases and then smooth it out. Make sure it's not too clumpy in there. And that's pretty much the process of that. Finally done painting the whole thing. So this dresser part is pretty much dry, and just finished the rest of the drawers, waiting for these to dry. And while I wait for those to dry, I'm gonna head to Lowe's to go get some handles and knobs to put on the dressers, which does cost maybe like $3 for 2 knobs or something like that. It's not too pricey, but it'll definitely be worth it, and it'll make the dresser look prettier and more modern. Okay, so I just got back from Lowe's and I'm trying to see if this fits on the drawer, and it doesn't even fit. It's too small. So let me see. So it has to fit like directly in these holes, and it's too small. See, there's still some space left right there. No, this is the only challenging part when you're trying to get the right drawer pulls for the drawers that are like 5.5 or 6 inches long. It's like so hard to find that length. So since it's so hard to find drawer pulls that are that long, this is my idea to do just 2 knobs on each one. And of course these only have 1. So I might do that, but I'm gonna have to come back to it in the morning since it's already late and Lowe's is about to close. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll check in tomorrow and hopefully we find something good. Hello and good morning. So as you can see, it's the next day. Yesterday I went to the store to get the knobs to put on the drawers, but they didn't fit. Well, like the handles didn't fit, the measurements weren't right. So I have to go back to Lowe's and figure out what I'm gonna do. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. I think I'm just gonna do all knobs. Even on the handle ones, I'm gonna do 2 knobs. So I'm gonna go back and get them in gold, and hopefully that looks good. So that's kind of my only choice, or else I'll have to order handles, but nobody got time for that. So I'm just gonna go back and get knobs and let's see how it looks. Okay guys, so when I went back to the store, I went ahead and got these knobs. They're like kind of like a rustic looking gold. The reason why I got this color instead of like a gold is because these little emblems right here are like gold, but they're like old, you can tell. And of course I didn't want to paint over them, so I just left them and tried to clean them a little bit. So I think this is the closest thing that'll match to that. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I just installed all the drawers and that's all you have to do pretty much. So with everything included, so the dresser I got for $30, and then for the knobs I got for just under $20. So this whole dresser cost me around $50. So I'm hoping to sell it for $350 or so. I'll list it on Facebook Marketplace and then I'll let y'all know what it sells for. And I did want to mention as well this lacquer spray. So I usually spray this like when I'm finished, so I would spray it now and then I spray it before the customer comes and picks it up. So it's just a coat pretty much that's like leaves it with a good finish and kind of seals everything in. So they have this one, which is the clear satin, which is the one I like, but they also have a glossy one too to make it look glossy, but I like the satin finish better. So I bought this at Lowe's, so if you do want to do this, then I would recommend to get this. Okay guys, so as you can see, I ended up selling the dresser. I listed it at $385, but I ended up selling it for $325. And I just wanted to mention that to make sure you put good pictures of your item and a good description, I put how long, tall, and wide it is, and I put if there's anything wrong with it so that the buyer knows. This one was listed over a week, but sometimes it takes a few days, sometimes it takes a little longer, it just depends. But the full total cost for this dresser was $50 for me, and I ended up selling it for $325, so that was a pretty good profit. But if you have any questions about refurbishing or anything like that, just leave a comment below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.